Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to new video. So in today's video, we're actually going to be installing the new TBW Performance Undertray. Obviously it goes underneath the car. The stock Undertray is just made of plastic. It's known to crack and break over time. It just gets old and ugly. It's only held on by pop clips. And just having something a little bit nicer under there is something that, intrigues me. Also, when you're doing oil changes and filter changes, you gotta drop the entire Undertray to get to where you need. With the new TBW Performance one, as you can see, there's doors. There's one door here and one door there. Each one, you have access to the drain plug as well as the filter, so you don't need to remove this whole thing. And also another really nice feature of this is, as you can see, there's slits or slots in the actual Undertray. And what that actually is, it's for cooling. So it's gonna allow your engine to dissipate heat better. And overall, it's just gonna keep your motor happier and healthier over time. Very, very nice quality piece. As you can see, they have STI cut out as well as the brand up here, TBW. I chose the gloss black version. They also have a silver and a red, which is really nice, but I chose black simply because, I didn't want it to stand out too much. Plus, going along with the theme and everything on the car, black just kind of suits it much better. So this actually does come with a hardware kit. So everything that you need comes in this little package over here of all the bolts and clips. But me being me and loving titanium, of course, I went with all titanium works hardware. So I was waiting for this to come in before I was going to install it. But yeah, we're going to be using all titanium hardware, the same hardware that I have in my engine bay as well. So everything's gonna match. I know it's a little excessive, but hey, when you go this far with titanium, it's one of those things that you're just like, hey, might as well, you're going to be installing it, might as well put some nice hardware there. Also, another thing that we're going to be doing tonight, as you can see, this is for a blow-off valve or bypass valve. This is for my Cobb bypass valve right there. I was inquiring about if Titanium Works actually made titanium hardware for this. Sure enough, they do. So I picked that up as well, and we're gonna do that first before we get started on the Undertray. But super, super nice. Titanium, exact same thing that's on there, but much nicer, and it's made out of titanium. And it's gonna match. Also, last night, there was a clamp down on the Grimspeed hose right there. It was the normal silver one, but I ended up having an extra Titanium Works clamp, and I put it on down there. And the really sucky part about it was I could not get that clamp on without taking the top mount off. So I know, really excessive just to get a clamp on there, but I ended up taking off the whole entire top mount just to get that clamp on there. I know, I'm nuts, but I've taken this thing on and off a million times now, so I'm able to take it off and on in pretty much 10 minutes. So it was a pretty quick job actually. But I'm really happy I decided to do it. Now that is not bothering me anymore. Now that's titanium as well. So yeah, let's go ahead. Let's get the vacuum line on the Cobb bypass valve, the titanium hardware on there, and then we'll get to installing the new TBW Performance Undertray. Here's a little side-by-side just to show you how much nicer this stuff is. Now you guys know why I'm kind of obsessed with it, because it just looks so much better with anything that you do. So this was the stock Cobb one, super light. This one actually has a little bit of weight to it. But if you look closely on here, you can kind of see, the Titanium Works logo, as well as on the bolt right here as well. So really, really nice touches. You're going to be reusing the normal washers that were on this one. They just go in between. So you put one here, then we're going to throw the vacuum line on, and then the second washer. Then we're going to screw it on. Honestly, this really needed that. That one bolt stood out so much compared to everything else. So now that I have a proper Titanium Works hardware on there, it really completes the whole entire thing. It just, you know, this is kind of like a centerpiece in the entire engine bay. So having that one silver bolt right in the middle just kind of stood out so much. So now the whole engine bay looks even more beautiful than ever. And just that little bolt makes a big difference, at least for me, because it's something that I noticed all the time, every single time I open the engine bay. So, all right, let's go ahead. Let's start jacking up the car, getting everything ready, and we'll install the TBW Undertray. Jacked up, we got the lights underneath, the pad on there because I'm a baby and I don't want to hurt my back. So all we're going to do is actually just remove all of the plastic clips. There's some kind of, you can see it up there. They go all around, but for me, I actually have rib nuts in the front on the bumper part. So I'm just going to remove those, which is really nice because the new titanium hardware is just going to screw right into those rib nuts, which is really nice. But everything else, I'm just gonna go ahead, pop all the clips off, then we can drop the actual under tray. You actually see one of the pop clips that came off from my, the hood, the heat shield when I was doing that. I guess it fell to the bottom of the tray here and it's sticking out that hole somehow. So I'm curious to see how many bolts and, you know, random things I'm gonna find under here. But we're also going to be able to get a good look at the Killer Bee oil pan, which I never got to see yet since I got it installed by RT Tuning. But yeah, let's go ahead, remove this. In the back, there's just some nuts. I think those are 12 or 14. I think they're 12. In the back over here, they're just little plastic clips that slide on and off. And then it'll come right off. So very simple. But yeah, let's go ahead and start removing this and we can get the new one on. All right, so we are underneath the car. We got the under tray out, and I just wanted to kind of show you this. This is absolutely beautiful. These are the Killer Bee Holy headers coated in Swain Tech. Kind of see the logo here. Not that you don't believe me, but it's there, Killer Bee Motorsports. And then over here is the beautiful oil pan. As you can see, there's two bolts. This is the drain plug. This one is actually just a plug. So you can actually run an oil temp sensor if you wanted to. So I can run a gauge into the cabin if I wanted to, so I can see the temperature of the oil, which I actually plan on doing at some point. But really cool feature of the Killer Bee pan, but really nice. You can see all the nice bolts up there. It fits like OEM. Obviously it fits around their headers as well. No clearance issues at all. Everything clears perfectly and beautifully. Again, this is my first time actually seeing all this, so I never thought that underneath an engine bay of an STI could look so pretty. So here you go. Here's a good look. But all right. Oh yeah, and there's the coil radiator as well. So a lot of things you can see under here that you don't really normally get to see. Also, you're able to see the Get a Dom cylinder full cooling mod right here. There's hose. You can see the little T adapter right there as well. Over here is the Grimspeed limited catted downpipe, so right here. And then back there is the AWE Touring catback, of course, with my Titanium Works hardware, naturally. But yeah, a lot of cool stuff under here that you don't normally get to see. So let me crawl out from under here and let's get to installing the new under tray. I'll let you guys know how the clearance is and everything and just how to install it. But I don't think we're gonna have any issues because it clears everything and these fit just like OEM as well. So shouldn't have any issues and it should really look pretty sweet under here. So, all right, let's get started. Kind of hard to get angles since I'm laying under the car, but I installed the front piece first. So like I said, I already have some rib nuts in some of the actual holes, so it was really easy for me. So this one's a rib nut, as well as the one over here is a rib nut. But the two center ones, so 1 and 2, you just use those speed nuts, you slip it over the hole, then you can screw them right in. Obviously you can use the hardware that came with the actual under tray, but like I said, I'm using the titanium hardware from Titanium Works. But yeah, I got the front tray on, so I'm just gonna slip the main tray on. button that up in these holes. Everything is lining up perfectly. And then we can put the side pieces on and we'll be done. So it's pretty straightforward, but I figured I'll just kind of show you each step because it's a little hard to get angles as I'm installing it. But I left all these things loose so far, so I have some room to kind of adjust it if I need to. But yeah, I started with this piece and then we'll kind of work our way back. All right, guys, so we are done. Everything fits really, really well. I'll just give you a little bit of a detailed look. You can see all the nice Titanium Works hardware. I'm gonna wipe it off, get all my fingerprints off and everything. But there is clearance for the headers. I just bent it out of the way a little bit. For the rear bolt, I had to use the one that came with the kit. I couldn't use the Titanium Works one because it was just too short. I had to use some spacers. So as you can see right there, I used some spacers to bring this end down a little bit to clear the headers. There is definitely some space. I bent it out of the way a little bit, but there's still, even if I move it around, it's not touching, so we're good there. I did remove the doors just so you guys can see where the access points are. They're right here, so I'm gonna put them on before I put the car down, but some people were curious. It does go up on the side, so it protects the motor up here. And then you just slip the ground wire through the side hole here and put the ground right back into the frame. Same thing on the other side. Super sturdy. I thought this thing was gonna rattle like crazy, but honestly, it is on there so well. I'm actually really impressed with how everything bolted up, but it looks beautiful with all the titanium hardware. I know that's a little extra, but I think it just adds a nice little flavor to the entire Undertray and just makes the install that much better, that much cleaner, and that much more my own STI. So, all right, let me go ahead, put the little doors back on. It's simple, just 2 bolts here and then 1 bolt back there for the oil drain. But let me go over there so you can see the access to the oil drain bolt, so you can see it right there. So here's the oil drain window here. My oil drain plug is right there, so I'm probably gonna have to remove the tray to do the oil change, but there's plenty of access for the filter right here. But still, again, it's not that hard. It's only a couple bolts. It's the one back here, and then the 4 up front, and then 2 on the sides here, and it pops right off. So it's not hard at all to remove it, but it is nice. I'm not sure how the clearance is with the stock oil pan, but with the Killer Bee, it's the window's a little too small. If it was just a little bit bigger, I would have a little bit more access and be able to drain the oil with the pan on. But either way, I'm really happy with it. I really love the STI logo right here. It's got ample cooling, so it's gonna keep the motor happy and not overheat. So, all right, let me get these windows back on, and then I'll try to get a better shot, not under the car, and then we can finish this video up. All right, there we go, all cleaned up, all the fingerprints are off. Looks beautiful, absolutely love it. Titanium Works hardware just makes it that much better, as I said. And yeah, so I'll report back on if I notice any noise difference when I'm driving, just rocks hitting it and everything. I'm sure there's going to be a little bit more. I mean, the car is loud in general, so I doubt I'll really hear that much of a difference. But obviously I'll report back once I get some time with it. But yeah, it's installed, so we can get the car back on the ground. I'm going to go for a quick little rip just to make sure everything is okay, which I'm fairly confident it is, but I just want to drive the car now and make sure everything's okay. And yeah, we can wrap the video up, so be right back. All right, guys, so came back from a little drive. Everything is good. Everything is perfect. No extra noises, nothing that I noticed initially. Obviously, once I get a little bit more time with the car and I start driving it more, you know, I'll report back to let you know if I find anything that either annoys me or anything interesting that you guys may want to know, you know, if you're interested in installing the TBW Performance Undertray. I gotta say, the fitment on that thing is ridiculous. Honestly, it fits as good as OEM. All the holes lined up. There's a little bit of adjustability as well, so you can kind of maneuver it around. It cleared the headers just fine. I used those spacers just in case, because I noticed it was close, but with the little spacers there, I had no problems with the clearance. The Titanium Works, little hardware on the bypass valve. It's honestly, that's like the first thing I look at now, knowing that it has been resolved. Now everything is completed as far as I think. I'm constantly finding little bolts here and there and things I want to do. But man, just seeing underneath the car with all the Killer Bees stuff, and just the recent mods that I've been putting on this car. I know there's a ton of mods on here that a lot of people love and always want on their car as well. But just honestly, recently, the last few mods that I've done has made me fall in love even more with this car. I don't know if it's just because I'm at the point where I finally got it to the point where I really wanted it, or it's just the thought that I have kind of put the offer out there that it's for sale. And then I'm starting to, I guess, appreciate it more than I ever have. So, you know, I'll address that in a whole other video. I've been doing a lot of thinking in regards to the sale of this. So I'll do a separate video on that, or do a wash and talk or something, kind of going over what my thoughts are currently. But honestly, I'm loving the car right now. It's driving beautiful. It looks great, especially with the new carbon scoop up there. It's just perfection. I love where the car is. It's absolutely filthy right now, which doesn't really look like on camera. You can kind of see all the dirt over here. It's pretty dirty. So I'm looking forward to really cleaning it up. It's supposed to be pretty rainy this weekend. So we will see. I'll probably just wash it and leave it in the garage all weekend. And then I think it's supposed to be nice next week. So we'll see. Either way, I'll probably do a wash and talk or something, going over my current thoughts about what I'm going to do. And I think you guys are going to be pretty happy about this decision. But before I end the video, I just wanted to show you real quick as well. If you kind of look down there, I guess you can't really see it, but I can. You can kind of see the shine right there, the gloss black of the actual Undertray down there. Really nice. Huge shout out to TBW Performance. I went to go purchase it actually on their website, and it said it was out of stock. And then I reached out to them. I was like, hey, you know, when you guys get more back into stock, I'm curious. I'm interested in picking this up. And then literally about 10 minutes later, they're like, oh, hey, we found 2 more in stock. You know, go ahead and go purchase one. So that's what I did. I went on, purchased one, and it was here in about 4 days. So huge shout out to TBW Performance. Thank you for making a great product that fit perfectly, and I didn't have to, create my own curse words installing. Everything went super smoothly. As always, a huge shout out to Titanium Works for providing the hardware. You know, all this stuff that I'm doing with the titanium hardware, this is stuff that not everybody does. So it's great that I'm able to help the Titanium Works out to kind of get some other kits together for you guys. So if you are interested in picking up, you know, the same exact Undertray or the Cobb bypass valve or something, he will be able to provide kits for you guys now that I've done it. We kind of did the R&D to get the kits together basically. So if you guys reach out saying, okay, I want the pair and strut bar hardware, he'll know exactly what that is and be able to send it out. So again, huge shout out to Titanium Works. It's been awesome working with that company. It's been awesome working with every company. I'm so pleased with this car. But yeah, I mean, that's all I got for you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you have any questions at all about the Undertray or anything else on the car, be sure to ask them below. But in the meantime, keep it clean, keep it simple, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.